Gravy and Carmen Kirk. Check them out as they go to work. Congratulations on your new podcast. Now open up a can of whoop ass and blast, blast, blast. This is Angelo. And I hope you like this show. Wow. Yeah.
Ooh, welcome back to another episode of Sweet Gravy. Carmen, thank you for being here.
Oh, yeah, it is another episode.
We made it.
I think sometimes I get lost in the intro song.
Yeah?
I don't know, maybe because I've heard it so many times. So.
Oh, you feel like you've heard it too many times?
I feel like I like the song.
Uh-huh.
It says their name in it, so that's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
We've flirted with the idea of getting something new.
Mm-hmm. Eventually we have to, for sure.
And Barnesy, our buddy Barnesy, he said that Angelo Moore, one of the ensembles he tours with is Angelo Moore and the Brand New Step.
Mm-hmm.
And Barnesy said, when we finally get a new song, it should be Carmen Johnson and the new theme song and the new opener, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I could listen to it every day for the rest of my life.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I could.
Actually, I don't think you wrong about that, especially considering how many times you've made me watch Fred Durst. Fucking I'm so sick of his fucking ass.
Let's not get crazy. It's not like I'm like
Kirk, this is
watching
thing.
Fred Durst all the time.
No, late at night, if you have a couple beers, you like Fred Durst time.
It's Fred Durst time. Yeah.
And at first it was the Talking Heads man, and now it's Fred Durst. It was Ween, Talking Heads, and now you'll mix all of them together. So right now you're on the Fred Durst thing.
A little bouillabaisse.
Yeah, and then now you'll mix. So I think next week you're gonna start mixing it up. It's gonna be the Talking Heads man, Ween, and Fred Durst, and then and then you're gonna throw in some Angelo Moore too. And I'm like, I don't like any of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did, and then you just played it out.
You think I played it out?
Mm-hmm.
But you watched these. You made me watch a Cisco concert at the BET Awards.
I know. I can't really complain too much.
2004.
Yeah,
and it's clearly something that somebody videotaped on their phone from a videotape that they're playing on like a tube television.
Yeah.
Like, it is atrocious. At least whenever I show you these videos, they're well done, you know.
It was a classic performance,
that Limp
Kirk.
Bizkit concert was on Hulu the same time. It was simulcast.
But that's a more current. That's a current.
No, I'm
concert.
aware.
Right.
I'm aware. I'm just saying that the production values are there.
Do you remember how TV used to be in 2004?
Yeah.
It was gross. And then if you look at movies from like early 2000, late 90s,
right.
Oh my God.
Well, I think you were watching The Sopranos with me, and they said previously on The Sopranos.
And I was like, what's going on?
They do something where it's like super choppy on the previews, like the shutters.
The preview is absolutely. This is before they mastered the previews, and
it just looks bad. It's on every single episode that it just looks bad. Like,
I mean, that's the thing. Technology and information is advancing constantly. People are learning different ways to have more equipment to work with. Like even if you look at a kitchen now, from back then, like you have all this updated stuff and. Quality is better now.
You got me watching a couple episodes of Shameless. I watched it the first season. I was in a place where we were watching Shameless, like when it came on, and I wasn't really that into it. But after the first season, I moved to Catalina. Didn't really get the show times.
Yeah.
So, however, you started watching it, and the previously on. They do it interesting because like the characters like, what, weren't paying attention last week?
Yeah, they do.
They like
I do
talk
like
to,
the way
they're like,
they-
what, you weren't paying attention last week? Well, this is what happened, and they're
yeah.
like in the middle of something else,
Or
right?
they'll even go further. They'll be like, yeah, F you. You wasn't listening? Look what you missed. Like they get creative
Yeah,
every
right.
episode. So it
Yeah.
kind of like
It's fun.
it naturally draws the viewer attention to what they're saying because they'll like approach it that way.
Right.
It's nice. I like that.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny and it's creative.
Yeah.
Unique.
But then they also show the recap and is a lot better than Sopranos.
Right.
So it's just technology is better now.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 10 years from now what it's going to be like?
We're not even going to be watching shows.
I know. We're going to... No. So they have this device out where it's a wristband and it's like a virtual thing. So you just press the button and then it shows all your stuff up. And then like... I don't know if you can actually tap on things, but it just will show you like a virtual thing
Right. I get it.
of like your emails or text mail. Like you can press certain... That's already getting advanced.
I remember a time whenever they had a cell phone that was on the Today Show, and it was a cell phone that was like just an earpiece, and it was like a little like card, right? It was like a little card, and it was like an earpiece. You plug the earpiece, and they're like, "This could be your cell phone one day," but they didn't realize that just through like texting wasn't a thing yet.
Right.
You couldn't text yet. Like it wasn't. If you wanted to, you'd have to, press, the 7 5 times for a T or something, right? And then there came the apps and how useful everything was, And if James Bond had a cell phone, he wouldn't need the gadgets that he had. But that was the idea was for the phones to get smaller and smaller and smaller. I think we're getting back to that though. A little bit. It depends on the phone. They make big ones, they make small ones too. But they're getting now. They've got the touchscreen flips. The flips, yeah, they've got flip
haven't
phones
seen
that are
those.
touch screens
Like
now.
the i80s where you press the button on the side and go bam.
I don't know about that.
I like those. Those were super cool. The Razors I didn't mess with, but the i80s I like those.
I had a Razor. It was a fun phone. Something happened where because it was kind of brittle,
Super brittle. It was easily to fuck that phone up. You could drop it anywhere.
And what happened was the top of it, the screen didn't work, and neither did the earpiece, that you hold to your ear. But the phone would still make phone calls, and so I would have to answer if the phone rang. To answer it, I'd click answer. I'd be like, "Hello, this is Kirk. I don't know who you are." Like just because like I didn't want somebody to start talking to me, and I would have to turn it on speakerphone because the speaker was on the other end of the talk piece, right? Like so, if the phone was here, it was like right there, and then on the back side of the phone,
I don't think that
was where
the
speaker was
Razor
for the speakerphone.
the Razor is not designed for people that nowadays. I mean, even then, it was so nice comparatively that people treated it really nicely. Like they're very careful. They were as careful as possible because they knew it was this thin phone. Nowadays, people have these big ass bulky phones with these large cases. They drop them all the time. Look how many times we've dropped our phones. If you look at my screen right now, it's cracked in like 5 different places.
Right.
That Razor would have been done the first time I dropped it the way I've dropped that phone. So I don't think I just don't think that it's gonna work at this point with the way people live their lives. You can be literally a businessman that go into the office every day, because I feel like the Razor is perfect for like the office man who sits down every day. But as soon as he leaves work and he goes to walk his dog and the dog yanked that chain a little bit too hard and that phone flop out of his pocket or anywhere, done.
Yeah. How do you make these OtterBoxes for a flip phone, a new flip phone, a new phone? How does that work? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got something.
Oh yeah, they'll have something.
So we're sitting back to where we used to sit.
We are.
So what's up? I remember you told me, you said, I just can't do it. I can't do that side anymore.
No, I look too fat. I don't like it.
You look fine. You're like, I can't handle this side anymore. You're like, can we, should we switch sides? I was like, okay, yeah, let's switch sides. We did 2 sides. I was getting super comfortable over there, Carmen. I was super comfortable over there, Carmen. I really was, I was feeling good, feeling great.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then you took it away from me.
You not comfortable on that side?
No, I like this side too.
Yeah.
It's just where you sit. I mean, I went to school with this guy, and he couldn't sit on a seat for too long if it got too warm. He's like, I got to sit in a cold seat. I can't sit. My seat's too hot. I got to switch seats.
Weirdo, what's wrong with you?
No, he was weird.
Yeah.
But, so, now we're back to this?
We are.
Uh-huh.
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
Until we figure out something different?
Till I lose 10 pounds, and then I can go back over there.
And then you can come back over here? Okay.
And that brings me to, we've been eating a lot. We've been trying. So we've been trying to eat healthier. We're planning on going to get a membership at the gym. That's the goal.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to start eating healthier. I think I did a good job last time.
We did a good job this week.
Yeah, I went shopping. Like, we had a couple meals where it wasn't the healthiest, but I'm still excited because I cut out the majority of the butter.
I've been praying for this butter.
I didn't buy butter until yesterday, and that's because I made mac and cheese and I made barbecue last night.
Right.
Because I like to cook, and I haven't been.
You had the day off, and you're like, see, that's
cook.
the worst thing. You're like, yeah, I got the day off. This is what I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook some food, and that's fine.
Or other than that, if I got the day off, it's like, what else am I gonna do?
Well, yeah, you don't have any hobbies.
No, I mean, I can go hang out with a friend or something, but I didn't want to do that. So it's like, I need to do homework, but I also need to fill the empty space. So typically I cook. I'll call friends on the phone, and then we'll talk, and we'll cook on the phone.
Right.
And that's kind of my thing. So, yeah, this week Kirk's been doing his vanilla vegan protein shakes.
Oh, it's a vegan, and it tastes so good.
Yeah, and
it's green though, which
I'm
is
really
weird
proud
because
of
it's
you.
vanilla, right?
Yeah.
But it's green, so like you're tasting the green, and then it's vanilla, and you're like, well, that's not really what I would think it would be, but it's good. It's great. Love it.
I'm proud of you. You've been doing so good. You've been eating healthy during lunch. Now you didn't switch to doing shakes a few times a week for dinner and
oat milk.
Oat milk. You're doing so good. I'm inspired by you, and so that's the reason why the last time I went shopping, I went out. I got chicken breast and a bunch of fish and shrimp, grains, vegetables, salad,
right,
and things like that. And don't get me wrong, when I look in the refrigerator and I don't see no cheese or butter, I almost have a mini meltdown. But I keep it inside so Kirk don't see it.
Yeah.
Except for that one day.
You look at it, and you're like,
that one day I was like, my soul feels empty inside. There's no butter or cheese in here. And then pastas, obviously that's a hard one for me. I love pasta. So just gonna keep working on it. This next week coming up, starting Monday, I'm gonna go grocery shopping, and I'm gonna get more chicken breast and just cleaner food and use no butter. I'm not gonna get any more cheese and be super chill about it.
Is there a way to buy cheese by the slice?
Yeah.
Can I just buy like 1-2 slices of cheddar? Because we got something going on. We need some cheddar. I need some cheddar. We got something going on. Gonna need like 4 slices of cheddar.
Why?
I'll have to explain it later.
Yeah, unless we're doing grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Oh, grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
We were watching this Netflix show. What is it? Crazy Delicious? Mm-hmm. And this woman, she made a...
the challenge was doing grilled cheese sandwiches. Creative grilled cheese sandwiches.
So it couldn't just be a grilled cheese sandwich.
Right. It had to be a spectacular, something out of the box grilled cheese sandwich. And I believe every single contestant did something way too out of the box and all failed the challenge. It was like, what is this? What are you doing?
One girl, she made a sushi grilled cheese.
A sushi grilled
with
cheese.
With Spam in it. She was Hawaiian.
Oh my God, so bad. Why would you do that? I
don't know. I don't know. But they made a grilled cheese and tomato soup. One of them made the tomato soup. Was it actual tomato soup, or was it like a V8 drink?
It was like a V8 tomato soup, but it was like, it looked like she used regular tomatoes to blend up because of the consistency of it. You can tell blended tomatoes. Tomatoes that's been blanched.
Right.
And then you pull the skin off and then you blend them. You can tell. And that's what it looked like, but with other stuff. I don't know what it was exactly, but it looked weird.
Yeah.
Like applesauce, but tomato.
Crazy delicious. Total phones up. Total phones up. If we would have had their phones down, we would have known how she made that tomato soup, huh?
That's funny. And then you also, so we watched, I'm not sure the name of the show, but we watched this competition with the people who like chickens.
Oh, it wasn't a show. It was a movie. It was a documentary.
A
It's called
documentary.
Chicken People.
No, it's not Chicken People.
It was called Chicken People.
The ones that do the competition?
Yeah.
So Kirk is into this Chicken People situation, and I was so baffled by
Because we have friends who have chickens,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems as though it's
a
thing where whenever they get these chickens, they kind of become not obsessed with them, but they become chicken people. They like their chickens, you know. They talk about the chickens. Like, there's chickens everywhere, right?
I get it, but like, it ain't nothing about a chicken that make me want to be its friend.
But you've never had a chicken.
I don't want that thing next to me. It's like a rat or something.
I bet if you had a couple chickens in your yard and that one chicken, he look at you like, and you look kind of sideways, and your hearts will just jump with joy, Carmen.
No, I don't like that. They stink. Oh, shout out to Zach with his chickens.
Yeah, shout out Zach.
Zach's been on the podcast. Zach Utley.
Yeah,
been on the podcast.
The only
a few times.
3-timer we've had so far.
Yeah, and he loves the chickens, but he also does the whole smoking thing. Like, it makes sense
He
to
smokes,
him.
smokes
But he said he
food.
doesn't eat those chickens.
Right. That's true. And you know, that was a question that was on Chicken People. They were, because they had all these people. Basically, it's a documentary about these people that enter in like a chicken competition, basically like a chicken dog show. Mm-hmm. A chicken show.
Yeah. And it's a whole judging panel, and then
there's a whole
they
big
have
thing.
specs and everything.
And based on like the breed of, you know, chicken, how the chicken should look based on the standards that it should be, the way that they call it the comb is, you know, flayed out, and you know the little things, they all have names.
Everything, their eyes, their feet, the way their feet look, and their beaks look, and everything.
Even all the way to the swoop of the back of the neck and to the
even the little tumors they have on their nose. They're like, those tumors are not perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. And what it was they were talking about one farmer or something, and they were like, because of this documentary, we won't show you what's inside of the actual, like, they didn't show.
No, that was.
They showed the baby chicks, but they didn't. Oh, that was Super Size Me Too.
Super Size Me Too.
Yeah, they showed the baby chicks.
I've been on a chicken binge lately.
Yeah, Kirk is all about the chickens.
But this Chicken People, they have their show, and it goes through all these people. And it was nice. And then it goes to their next year, you know, because nobody in their group of people had won. It was a fun show. You couldn't stop watching it.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I loved it. But these people do seem not well adjusted.
I know the moment. Well, we'll get into that in a second. But I know the moment you decided that you were going to watch the whole thing.
What?
Was whenever they spray the chicken with the hairspray.
I was like, what are you doing?
But what was it called?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. But you were like, that's my hairspray. You said.
Oh, they sprayed it with spritz.
Some sort of spritz. You're like, that's my hairspray, and they're using it on those chickens?
They use pump it up, what a lot of black girls use to hold the style of their hair. So it's tough stuff, and they sprayed it on the chicken.
Yeah, they sprayed it on the chicken.
I was like, hell no. Like, you can't be spraying that shit on the chicken. You're going to kill that thing. Like, that shit is strong.
That's surprise chicken.
I sprayed that on my edges this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I took a shower, you're going to smell it tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Mm-hmm. That should not be on chickens. Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, the people, they, one woman, she was an alcoholic previous to her chickens, right? And she had, her kids, they were talking to her children, and they were like, well, she doesn't drink anymore because she's obsessed with her chickens.
They were kind of shitting on her the whole time.
They were like, what did they say?
They were like, yeah, she wasn't really a good mom.
We'd come home from school and she'd be passed out on the couch, you know. And
yeah, they pretty much call her a junkie.
And then they're like, you know, she still spends her time with the chickens, and you know, we'd like some attention, but I guess she's not drinking anymore. So
yeah.
like they have an absentee mother because of chickens.
No, she was absentee she was
Beforehand?
absentee all around, but then it's one of those things where when you got kids and stuff, you have to like, what's more important?
Right, your kids are the chickens.
Or drinking and sleeping on the couch all day.
Yeah.
But that's if you not work. I think that she had help from her family to where she didn't have to work. If you have to work,
Yeah, it seemed like the husband was doing all right.
yeah, you gotta. If you got priorities, is a little different. If you a stay-at-home mom and the only thing that you have to deal with is children and cleaning the house and cooking dinner, those are your three things.
And the chickens.
Without the chicken, before the chickens.
Oh, before the chickens.
You got the kids, the house, cleaning the house, taking the kids to school, grocery shopping, cooking the food. Okay, now that your kids are going off to school, you have them kids clean those dishes. You have them kids cook that food. You have them kids do that laundry. Now what you doing?
All right.
They can go to school by themselves. They got jobs. They getting jobs and everything. Now you become this stay-at-home mom with minimal to do, and you sit at home all day. Now what?
You gotta get a hobby.
My mom went to bingo.
Bingo's fun.
I guess.
B11. And then there's a guy on there, and he was an engine designer. He made engines for tractor races. Like he raced tractors and stuff, and tractor pulls and just stuff like that. That was his job. And he said, you know, he wanted to perfect a certain breed of chicken. That's all the chickens that he had. It was just this one breed, and he had every chicken numbered, and then he knew like the lineage of where these chickens came from. Like, and he's like, he's up to like the thousands, you know. And he's like, I can just think, people think it's weird, but I can just think 246, and
I had 246 for this long. I had 249 for this long. Like, boy,
he's like he knew like all the things, and he's like,
I don't know. Is that not? I mean, if you're grooming your chickens to be show chickens,
to be the champion chicken,
you probably treat those chickens very nicely.
Oh yeah,
and that's better than what they do to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, can't complain about that. It does seem inhumane when you see a lady spraying hairspray. Like,
but what is
humane?
Human, right? Like, what is humane?
Inhumane.
What's the base of the word? Like, inhumane, because you spray that on humans, right?
Yeah, I get you. Get looking into it too deep. Chickens should be able to run around, but at the same time, they're kind of bred to eat. Like, it's part of our society right now.
Yeah.
Even in other countries, they don't eat that chicken.
Right.
If they can find one.
Yeah. Even when we were watching Super Size Me 2, he's getting a chicken farm because he's gonna open up a fast food chicken place.
Yeah.
And like, I can't remember the dynamics, but to have a free range chicken, it was like 2 feet or something. That's all I needed.
Yeah,
like
and then
space.
yeah, but they need more than that. That's all you give them.
Exactly.
And then they were like, "Oh, we'll show you the small chickens, but we won't actually show you the house where the big chickens that's breeding live,
right, yeah.
because you know that you're gonna be in trouble if you show that on TV."
Yeah.
Like, they knew that like, we can't show y'all that because PETA and everybody about to come for y'all. They don't get this movie off of Netflix if you show them that.
Get it out of here.
And you can show little baby chicks. They look so cute, and like, it doesn't matter. But they did show them stepping on them too.
Yeah.
That was like,
there's a little pop there, wasn't
yeah, it's like, oh, that was a spine that we broke. Sorry, they're all over the place. We step on, and then they had a bucket of stepped on chickens.
Yeah.
That was a little bit rough.
To be honest, I thought I didn't think it was because it was a PG-13 movie. I didn't think it was going to be too bad, but I thought that they were going to go a little bit worse. I remember, you know, I had a buddy. He took an ethics class, and one of them was about livestock and stuff, and how McDonald's used cow eyes in their burgers because the type of meat a cow eye is, it packs good. It keeps meat together, you know, well. They're like, gotta take out the cow eyes, you know. They made them watch this video, and then like tons of people were just super grossed out by it.
Oh yeah, they make you watch videos like that in culinary school
Mm-hmm.
about how they process animals and like the worst case scenarios and all that, and people in class are just like, what the hell?
Uh-huh.
So, but they definitely make you watch that in culinary school.
Right. Yeah.
So I am, speaking of school, I'm in class right now.
Mm-hmm.
For my two main classes that I'm focused on is financial accounting and event planning.
Mm-hmm.
And financial accounting is a whole nother beast, but I feel like I got a handle on it because I have people who are willing to help me. So I actually just have to put in the effort to receive their help.
Right.
I have to actually like go meet with them and say, hey, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
So I have to put in the effort. There are people the financial accountant at my job is going to help me out with a couple questions,
Uh-huh.
which is really nice of him. He's like, hey, come see me. We'll have some coffee, and I'm going to have water, and he can have coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to help me with some questions. So financial accounting I feel comfortable with. The class that I'm a little bit nervous about is event planning.
Mm-hmm.
So I am part of the tailgate event.
You're part of the tailgate committee.
Yeah, so we're planning a tailgate in October, and we have to plan this thing from start to finish.
Uh-huh.
I've never been to a tailgate,
Right.
and I don't really know what to do at a tailgate, and I feel like we have limited information.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm doing good so far, but like when a guy was there, he was saying like, yeah, we're going to have T-shirts, and then I was like, so we're going to have music, food, and T-shirts.
Right.
And I was like, I've never been to a tailgate, so what is it? Just music, food, and T-shirts? And they just come and get that and leave?
Uh-huh.
And he was like, yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Do we have stickers? Do we have, like, flyers with the
What do you
players?
need stickers for whenever you
I
got
don't
T-shirts?
fucking know. Why would you just come for hot dogs and shirts? Why
Who's
is that
it
an
for?
event?
The college?
It's for the alumni and family and friends of the actual players
Uh-huh.
and alumni of
So
the
they
team.
go to this little special area
Yeah, before the game.
before the game.
And it's a
then they'll-
women's
it's a
soccer
little,
game.
Like, it's a women's soccer game.
So go figure.
Ooh,
It ain't
la
going to be
la.
that many people.
Yeah. Well, no. There's...
They said 100 people for a whole stadium. Boy, bye. He said, oh, given the last numbers, it's like 125. I was like,
Well,
shit.
I'm sure it'll be a fun time. So you'll see, like, well, there might be 100 people there because who goes to a girls' soccer game? Friends and family of the players.
Yeah.
So, you might have 100 people in there. It
Well,
might be...
I planned food for about 225 people, but I'm not sure if the actual athletics committee in the school is going to allow me to do food for that many because
You have to make the food?
the teacher was like, Carmen, you a cook. You probably could jump in there and grill.
Uh,
Like, girl, I'm supposed to be on the other side.
What?
She kinda threw me-
You're like, I'm trying to learn how to plan this party.
And she's like,
and
yeah,
you want me
but
to cook
She's
again?
like, but you know how to cook, so it might be a good thing if you plan yourself being part of cooking
Right,
the food
being
for
part
the
of
event.
yeah. Why don't you plan yourself being a part of the cook? Man, you're already pigeonholed, Cameron. I don't think this event planning thing's gonna work out for you.
Well, I'm really good at cooking, and people know that, and so they like. Even today at work, like we're doing a party, and for some reason I'm in charge of all the sauces. So I made
Yeah,
tzatziki
the
today.
saucier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made tzatziki, cocktail, mignonette, horseradish mayo, horseradish cream, and like 10 other sauces. I don't know how I got stuck with being a sauce girl. Maybe because I brag about how good I am and how
Like,
fast
I
I am.
make so
Oh my
many
god, I make
sauces.
sauces
Oh my
so
God,
fucking
sauces,
fast, and I'm so good at them.
Oh
But
my
it's
God,
the
I love
truth.
sauces. Oh my God.
Kirk, I made 12 sauces in 1 hour.
Okay.
So I am really good at them.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen at this event. I'm very excited about it. I'm nervous about it because maybe I should Google tailgating events and see. But I thought tailgating was like the fans.
Yeah, it's like the fans. They hang out like in the parking lot
in their
before,
cars,
before
but-
they go into the show, and they have like before they go into the game, they like hang out outside. Some people never make it into the game; they just tailgate the whole time. But
Right.
yeah,
So this
like,
is a weird tailgate.
I feel like they have it named poorly.
yeah.
Poor choice of name.
Mhm.
But I guess it's what else would you want to call it?
I think the biggest problem that they made with this whole event is that they have it on this field that's extremely
It's
large.
on the field.
It's
The
a
soccer field.
Yeah, it's a recreational compound where they do large
But
events.
where's your event?
That's where it's at. It's gonna be right outside of the where the soccer field is.
Oh, okay.
So right outside.
Okay.
I'm going to see it next
It's
week.
not
so.
indoors. It's not a stadium. It's just a field.
No, it's a stadium, but it's no chairs, no benches. Oh,
Is there a roof?
It's a glass roof.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. They say it's an extremely large area, so I'm gonna see next week.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a little nervous because of the unknown.
Yeah, maybe
There's a tailgate
maybe you can
and then-
describe it to us differently next week. and
Yeah,
then
yeah, maybe so.
We'll see what it's
I
like.
kind of dropped the ball on that
Yeah, right.
description. Well, either way, I'm in school right now. I'm trying to get everything finished up because me and you are moving out of here once we finish everything.
Right.
So that's kind of my goal is get these events planned.
Right.
And
Yeah,
maybe in the
plan.
future I could be an event planner if
Yeah.
this goes well.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Plan you to cook some hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah. So there's been a bunch of stuff going on in pop culture. One of the things I wanted to talk about is Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. So Jake Paul, this YouTube kid, he's been fought another UFC fighter. He's been fighting boxers, UFC fighters. I feel like they're picking the fights that he can win because if you put him against certain people, and he didn't win, but the problem is the UFC guy didn't definitively win. Like, he absolutely lost the fight, but he held his own very well, and it was so close to where they're like, dude, you're making all this money in the UFC and you beat all these guys. I think Tyron Woodley has only lost once. He undefeated or something. And then you barely win against a YouTube kid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Remember I told you? I was like, Tyron Woodley gonna kill this kid.
Yeah. But it's not real. Like that's the thing though.
Kirk,
like,
don't say it. It is
but it's
real.
not real. It is a show.
Kirk,
like,
it's real.
Like that's the reason they're doing it. These brothers, because both the brothers are fighting, right?
Dana White don't like that his fighters are going to Triller and fighting.
Right. They don't like that they're fighting, but they're not doing mixed martial arts. They're doing boxing.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So they're the people that are UFC people that are just boxing. They're not using their tools that they would normally use.
Yeah.
So they're kind of at a disadvantage there.
Did you see Evander Holyfield just fought on Triller and he's 60 years old and they knocked his ass down?
Didn't they?
Yeah, and Dana White was like, what is going on? You guys need to stop doing these fights. Like, 60-year-old man in there, what is going on?
He signed the paperwork.
He did. And I don't think Dana White liked the fact that all these retired fighters, George St. Pierre tried to go over there. But in his contract, he has a 5-year clause after fighting. 5 years, you cannot interact or fight with other players. So you can't schedule additional events or exhibition events with players outside of the UFC.
Right.
So he wasn't able to do it, but he tried to and realized his contract he couldn't do it.
Right. So then he had to be on Falcon and Winter Soldier instead, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
But these older boxers and fighters are now, this is a way for them to get back in there and make some money.
Make some fast money.
Yeah, a lot of them probably struggling financially, and it's a way for them to I can make $1 million.
Or they just have something to prove to themselves.
That's true, too.
An aging athlete, like, oh man, I used to.
Yeah,
used
but
to
it was
be
some
this
really
and that.
good fighters, some legends that got knocked out this last card. It was like a big card too. I think Anderson Silva was on there. He knocked somebody out. Like Dana White is like, why is Anderson Silva like? What
What's
he
his
did?
name?
Anderson Silva. He is the one who broke his leg though with that kick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just an interesting one. And then what else we got? The vaccine info.
What about it?
So they are saying pretty much that Joe Biden is saying that any business that has 100 people or more are required to be vaccinated. So all the employees are required to be vaccinated, or they must be COVID tested, show a positive COVID test day to day for the company, which I don't think companies are going to pay for daily COVID tests for unvaccinated workers.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So pretty much other than that, you have to fire them.
Wow, I never heard anything like that before.
It just came out. They
Today?
did a press conference. No, a few days ago. Everyone's been talking about it. There's a couple press conferences out, and they did a couple Q&As. And the guy was like, so these workers that come from other countries, they're not forced to be vaccinated, but you want the, and the lady was like, exactly. Like, she was getting upset at the reporter's questions.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like,
What people, though?
he was talking about migrant workers or something like that. So I'm not sure if it's people who they're bringing over from other countries, like how they're bringing a lot of people over from like Afghanistan right now to help out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're required to be vaccinated, but they're saying American people are.
Probably some sort of just like a what would you call that? They get put because they just showed up, because they've just been in here. They haven't had time to get the vaccine, all that stuff.
They're getting placed and all that still.
Right.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
They haven't. I mean, I don't know the 100% details. I just know that the basis of it, and I'm not sure when it's going into effect, but the basis of it is if you have 100 employees or more,
Right.
then everybody is required to be vaccinated or show proof of a negative test to be
every day
in a workplace.
I know I've heard of places that had a scare and they couldn't get a test. They couldn't get an at-home test. They couldn't find them at the stores. Mm-hmm. They couldn't find a place to get a test because they were all backed up. Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Pretty wild what's going on. You know, you don't realize, like, the numbers are going on. I heard a local physical therapy place it's kind of shut down because the people that were working there went to the hospital working in the COVID stuff. So
yeah, I know they said here it was
people.
like 5 nursing homes that closed down just from lack of
nurses.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
It is. And so I want to end on I guess it's not a positive note, but I want to make it positive. Norm Macdonald passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a shitty situation, but he was such a good comedian, and I really loved him a lot. Like, I liked his comedy. I've always liked him from that movie he did when he's the butler. What's the name of that movie? When he's the butler, it's him and Dave Chappelle in the movie. He's the butler, and they steal this woman's money.
Screwed.
I liked
with Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
you seen that?
And Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked him ever since that movie.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Maybe we should watch it tonight.
I think so. I think it's a good one. I think you would really like it.
I know he was in Dirty Work. That was a pretty funny one. Him and Artie Lang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Him and Dave Chappelle's comedy gold, man, together.
It was maybe last year, because he's got a show on Netflix, and I saw that it was just trending. But I spent a night just watching like all of those. There's not much.
Yeah.
It's called Norm Macdonald Has a Show.
I know. Tell me about it. You made sure
it's such a lazy show.
It
is. And that's who he is. Like, he's just a lazy man. Like, kind of like his comedy is like, it's
well,
not,
he doesn't
it's not
go
like he's the
out of
greatest
his
writer.
way. He literally will do knock jokes.
Yeah,
and everybody be just like, what?
So,
but it's so funny.
You know, with the roast of Bob Saget, he went on there and he said a bunch of jokes that were from a book, and they were like old-timey jokes. Mm-hmm. And he said that he did that because he didn't want to do it. He said he didn't really like roasts. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't really like roast, you know. And he because Bob Saget was his friend, he's like, okay, I'll go do it. And he did these jokes, and he said he did it because the producer told him, just be as shocking as you can be, because they want people to be like, ooh, like kind of cringe humor is what they want the roast to do. They say, be as shocking as you can be. And, you know, they try to trash everybody else on the thing. And he was like, oh, I'm not really going to do that. So he just read these. And he figured, how shocking would it be if I was just clean and just like these jokes from a book?
No, I mean,
and though.
He had some funny ones, but it was such a drastic difference from the other comedians, everybody else, that people
that's
were
how
just
shocking it was.
But
yeah,
people
so
loved
different.
him so much they were still cracking up laughing.
And, well, he said that night, whenever it was there, he said nobody laughed. He said but he was committed to it. He said nobody was laughing.
Well, the people on the stage laughed, maybe not the people in the audience.
Well, you don't know. Like,
I mean, from what you see on camera.
what you see on TV. Yeah.
They showed them interacting. Stop saying it's not real. God damn it. It is fucking real.
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ. Don't kill all my glory. You want to watch Fred Durst and all these concerts and say that it's real, and then I watch reality shows and you don't think it's real.
Yeah, right. You know who Bill Geist is?
I know the name.
He's a little like I don't know what he is. He was a guy commenter, and when Survivor was just starting, I think it was like the second season. He was talking about these reality shows, and he's like, "Whose reality is that? It's not my reality." Yeah, I like that.
I tell you who reality it was.
Who's?
Ron Jeremy and Vanilla Ice. It was their reality at the time.
That's true. Yeah.
He was angry. That was the best ever. Was that
Surreal Life?
Surreal Life. Oh my God, it's so good. But I think that's it.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching another episode. If you have any questions or suggestions, please go to sweetgravypod@gmail.com, and you can check us out on all the streaming platforms as well as YouTube.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.